On the Entrepreneur this week,
the real estate in Kenya is really developing pretty fast. As a startup, many people don't trust you. You have a good idea, very good idea on paper, but you have nothing to show that in the past maybe you have done a project. So we create that value.
And on the second part,
I started hustling when I was still in high school. I developed interest in manufacturing, so I decided to do cosmetics. The reception was very well.
real estate cannot be lost or stolen, nor can it be carried away. Purchased with common sense, paid for in full, and managed with reasonable care, it is about the safest investment in the world. These words by Franklin Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, explain in a nutshell what most people think about real estate. Due to the high profit margins in the real estate industry, thousands of Kenyan entrepreneurs have opted to invest in the sector. Among them is George Washiuri, the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Optiven Group.
The journey for Optiven is a long journey. We are now 18 years in business. And as an individual, I have done other things, other businesses. I have done over 15 businesses that failed. And we thank God that now Optiven is working well. And as an entrepreneur, I am happy when I see Optiven progressing. Last year, we won the top 100. The other year, we won the Company of the Year award. And for me as an entrepreneur, I am happy when I see this particular vision for Optiven, which is being pace setters in socio-economic transformation. The vision is able to provide jobs for our people. We have seen over 200 people working for Optiven. And as an entrepreneur, that's very exciting. I smile because that's the purpose of an entrepreneur.
Optiven Group was established in 1999. Starting out as an agent, the real estate business was not the first venture for George. As a serial entrepreneur, the 43-year-old has had numerous challenges in his entrepreneurial journey.
Before starting Optiven, I had done many other businesses. I had done water packaging, I have done making of beauty products, I have done taxi businesses, and some of these businesses actually failed terribly. And when I thought of starting Optiven, I had no money, so I started like an agent whereby I could sell people's properties and I could get commission. And it was very frustrating because people are very good when they're discussing on a property, but when it comes to paying of commission, it was not easy. So at some point, I missed huge commission. Somebody was supposed to pay me, and the thought came and said, why can't I do my own stuff? And I decided to give it a trial. And I remember that time I had saved about 5 million, and I was able to identify a piece of land. And I knew for sure that I'm in the right move to start a business. But I was proved wrong.
George would not throw in the towel and would return to the ring in 2009. This time though, he elected to start small by selling a single plot. However, not able to access loan facilities, he convinced landowners to give them land which was subdivided and sold to clients. Since then, George has not looked back. Nevertheless, there are still more impediments in real estate.
One of the challenges that I personally face, and I'm sure other people also face the same challenges, is getting financial support. Because as a startup, many people don't trust you. You have a good idea, very good idea on paper, but you have nothing to show that in the past maybe you have done a project. So we had a lot of issues on getting a project being financed. Number two, getting the skills, because when you go in the market, when people hear of Optiven, they have never heard of it. 18 years ago, they say, hey, what kind of company is this one? So you cannot really get the proper skill, not like today, whereby everybody out there wants to work for Optiven. So those are real challenges. Something else I also discovered is, of course, land business in Kenya is very, there's a lot of legal issues, the delay in transfer of properties. So sometimes you promise a customer that you're going to transfer this property, it takes more than 3 months. And people are they get agitated when you make a promise you don't deliver, but I'm happy that with the digitization, we are able to fight some of these challenges today.
Optiven Group's target market is the middle class, who in most cases cannot afford the high-end properties on the market. Owing to the competitive nature of the business, the firm has had to be creative and innovative so as to blow the competition out of the water.
What Optiven do is that, of course, I said our big vision is to keep creating opportunities for Kenyan people, and also propagating the agenda of transformation. Other than transforming the people that we work with, we also transform the properties that we develop. If you look at Kenya today, the reason why people don't construct their own homes is because there's no water, there's no infrastructure, there's no security, there is no power. And for us at Optiven, we come in and say, why can't we do these things to our people? So we came up with the term value-added plots. So we buy bare land and we make sure that we do the infrastructure, we do the water system, we pipe water to individual plots. Right now we are doing the solar street lighting whereby you use solar energy. We do biodigester, we plant the trees, the greening, we develop those gated communities, and then we subdivide and offload to the Kenyan people, and they like it.
Research shows that approximately 82% of Kenyans are tenants. A recent study showed that a typical Kenyan household spends on average approximately 1/3 or between 30 to 33% of their income on rent.
One thing I've discovered that the real estate in Kenya is really developing pretty fast. We have seen a lot of huge development coming in. We have seen the population growing. We have seen the demand for real estate growing. We have seen foreign direct investors coming to Kenya to have a kick. We have seen hundreds of development. There's a survey that was done that people with idle money or spare money out there in Europe, in the US, they are looking to come to Kenya to invest. And some of these projects, they are huge projects. They are basically in real estate. So we have seen an industry that is growing with a lot of vigor. If you look at Nairobi today, it's expanding. If you look at the counties, they are also expanding. So real estate is not, it's an industry that is growing so quickly, and that's why we are able to contribute in real estate 9% of our GDP. So there are thousands of jobs provided by real estate, and looking forward to this industry, we can only grow further.
George is a Bachelor of Commerce graduate from the University of Nairobi. After his graduation, George, who also has a master's in strategic management, worked for various blue-chip companies.
I think the journey for George Wachuri for entrepreneurship started a long time ago when I was in class 8. I used to plant my own onions. You know, where I come from is very dry, so those onions were not doing so well. I discovered the neighborhood is a bit productive, so I used to go to the neighborhood counties, buy those farm produce, transport them to other cities and sell them as young as in class 8. When I went to the secondary school, I was a photographer there. I went to the university. I was actually also a photographer there and washing people's clothes, and also my small room was actually a library. It was a social library, socially, and I could generate money from the students. And I discovered that this thing is in my system. So when I came out there and there was a talk that there were no jobs, so I decided to try to create opportunities for other people, and that's why I ended up doing many other businesses, you know, car hire, safaris, cosmetics, and I'm happy that the people who are going to add value to this nation, not only to Kenya but to Africa, is entrepreneurs, because the job of an entrepreneur like George Wachuri is to create, to innovate, and also create these job opportunities.
Currently, Optiven Group has 206 employees in their Kenyan and South African offices. In Kenya, the company has presence in Machakos, Kajiado, Nairobi, Nyeri, and Eldoret.
I had this, I believe in savings, so I had saved about 5 million. And I went out there to look for a property. The property was good, the sellers were okay, you know, I trusted them. Little did I know that I was very fresh in the business, and then my trust was actually proved wrong because I lost all the money. It was not easy because that time I had no jobs, you know, the family depended on my business. And for 1 year, it was the year of dryness. It was very, very difficult because you don't get a job. I remember I even tried looking for a job. You send those applications, no even regrets that they have seen your CV, and it was very, very difficult. And how I came up from that loss of 5 million, those years, because that was a lot of money, I actually authored a book. It's called Soaring Like an Eagle, to inspire people, to tell people that you might fail today, tomorrow you'll make it. And it was a very, very difficult journey. Of course, the family really suffered because I have to change kids from a good school to a lower school. I had to move out of my house to a lower house, and of course you forfeit a lot of things. I used to walk to the city. My office was actually Uhuru Park. I go there with my notebook, a pen, and my Bible. So it was very, very difficult for 1 year. But I think I learned a lot. I learned to be humble, that you can have the money today, tomorrow you don't have it. And it was a real school. It was a real learning for me as a person.
George has utilized most social media channels, radio and TV adverts to increase awareness about the Optiven brand. He also believes that mentorship for young people, running a vibrant foundation, and charity activities have helped in marketing the company.
People who have tasted the services of Optiven, they are very happy. Because Optiven, when we do business with passion. And when we see this particular customer now opening their own home, that's our happiness. And that's why for us, we say that the time the customers are going to break the ground, we are there to encourage them, to inspire them, because our duty is to actually develop 30,000 homes in the next 15 years. So every house that we see a customer opening or building, we are happy about it because that's our core mission. And we also say that as an organization, we are here to help our people to have their own place they can set up their families, and that's why we go extra. We don't sell plots, we sell this value to our customers so that they're able to get settled. And we are happy when we see our customers progress, because that's our core, being pace setters in socio-economic transformation. When a customer move from one level to the next, we smile, we are happy.
Optiven Group has won various local and international awards as a result of setting the pace in the real estate industry. Among these are the Mashujaa Awards for the best and most innovative entrepreneur in 2015. So what advice does George Washuri have for burgeoning entrepreneurs?
As an entrepreneur, you must be ready to trade in some things. You trade in your happiness, you trade in your sleep. You must be able to work extra hard. You must be able to move out of comfort zone to go out there and make yourself dirty. You can't be an entrepreneur if you don't want to do everything. I remember when I started, I was an accountant, I was a sweeper, I was everything. You must be ready to walk that journey.
Don't go away. The entrepreneur will be right back.